Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and it's Sunday evening, and I am on my way to go and have dinner with friends, which I don't normally do on a Sunday, so this is particularly special. It's been an incredibly difficult weekend. So many different things going on at the same time, and most of them very emotional things. I'm working really, really hard not to be overwhelmed by everything. And that is the story. That's what I thought I'd talk about on my way to dinner, is how do you do that? So I've got trauma happening in all directions. It's really, really sad that my dear friend Yvonne downstairs lost her uncle, and with whom she was very close. And so she's really had a tough weekend, and obviously a tough weekend because we are close. I can feel that. Even if she's not right in front of me, I can still feel it. That's part of who I am, I guess. And so then we've also got the situation where my sister wrote to me and said that her husband, she actually isn't officially married, but they've been common law for nearly 30 years, fell down steps in their house, the staircase in their house down to the basement, and broke 3 ribs, and obviously did some brain damage because he's actually in a different reality right now. You can imagine what that was feeling. And so that's very, very worrying as well. And as you may know, I don't have the closest relationship with my sister due to one thing and another. But thank goodness she did at least reach out and let me know that. And then this weekend, my friend was meant to come, still is planning to come, to live with me because she's going through some tough times and needs a roof over her head. So she was meant to move in yesterday, but got totally overwhelmed and didn't get things ready enough. Then today she was meant to come, but I've just spoken to her just minutes ago to find out that storage locker that she got is nowhere near big enough for her stuff, and so it's a problem. Luckily she does have a son with her who's going to take some of her stuff to his house, so short term she has an answer for that. So, very, very stressful. And who knows what time of the night she's going to arrive. I got a sense that it could be any time of the night. So, that's very stressful. And then, of course, I've got the situation with Dougie, who still doesn't know whether one of his relatives is still stuck in that mall in Kenya. We're hoping not, but he doesn't know for sure. So the question is, how do you keep sane with all that going on? First of all, I'm very grateful. When I say I'm very grateful that all that stuff is going on around me and not directly to me. And I'm very clear about that in my mind. This is not my stuff. Although I could easily make it my stuff, if you understand. And as you know, I didn't add to the list the fact that I'm going to go and help a friend of mine now. So more trauma, probably. Because people do not phone me up and ask me, please could you come, I've got a friend who's got a situation. I don't get that call unless that situation is something that's important to them, because they've never made that call before. You know, and so that doesn't happen just because they've got a toothache or something. So anyway, the number one thing is it's not my stuff. So I'm very clear on that. I have to put those boundaries down. The second thing is I choose to take on or not any part of that stress. And that is a really important one. I choose to take this on. For example, I can listen to my friend really complaining about how, you know, she hasn't got enough packing done and this is not working and that's not working. And you know there's that voice in that head that says, you know, cancel the dinner and go and help. But I can't do that. This dinner has been booked for months. And months, because this was the first time that the three of us had dates that actually allowed us to do this. So, and who knows when the next time will be. And also, this move in was meant to happen yesterday, where I cleared the day. So, I hope you can see that this is like, I had it planned, it would have worked had it been yesterday. It doesn't work because it's today. So, as long as I keep it in that reality, I can keep sane. Now, you're probably asking, you know, how do I do that and not have a guilt trip? I don't. There's a certain amount of it that feels that way, but it is what it is. I can't keep both things, and one was a commitment for yesterday and one is a commitment for today. So I look after today's commitment today. That's the only way I stop overwhelming myself. There's nothing I can do for Dougie and his family except support Doug. So I'm not buying into that one. Right? That's just like, okay, what can I do to support you, Doug? And the best thing I can do to support Doug is tell him I love him. And try and assuage his guilt, because he obviously feels some guilt that he didn't go back to Kenya and be with the rest of the family. Well, you know, you can't do that all the time. So and my sister, there's really very little that I can do for her at this time. She has his family coming in from all over the place, and that will keep her occupied. And if he's not in the present in his mind, then my being there is not going to make a blind bit of difference. really I have to just look at it and just go that isn't the reality right now. I can't do anything to help, and part of it is staying out of the way. Actually, probably will help more, because I frustrate her a great deal, so why would I give her that extra stress? However, if he doesn't make it, then you understand I will definitely go. I mean, there's no maybe about that. That's a whole different story. So it's all about really where you choose to put yourself in your mind. And part of me goes, I'm going to go and enjoy this dinner. I haven't eaten all day, which is not very healthy. But I only realized that a little time ago, and I didn't want to suddenly put food in my system, because that would spoil my dinner, and I intend to enjoy my dinner. So I'm going to actually really have a nice steak and enjoy it tonight. And, if it's over the calories that I meant to have, so be it. I'm going to go and enjoy myself this evening. And I am certain there'll be parts of this evening that will be, obviously quite difficult because of the reason why I'm going. But for the rest of the time, I'm going to enjoy it. And that's what I need to do for myself. I don't normally go out on a Sunday night. I try and go to bed early. I did the broadcast a little bit earlier today and closed it early, so that I would have enough time to prepare. And I've got dog hair everywhere. I can feel it. But as in all things, I'm working very hard to try and concentrate on what I have, not on what I don't have. And trying to explain to my friend that of course she's emotional, of course she's upset. She just, for the second time in as many years, has had to accept the fact that she's incapable of looking after herself. That's not easy for any adult to live with. But it is her repeating pattern, and that's horrible for her. And whilst I have great sympathy, and I do, the truth is that it is a repeating pattern. And so part of me wants to be able to help her understand this, but I know that in trying to do that I probably will make things worse rather than better, so why would I go there? Hopefully she'll work it out for herself. Everybody is really exactly where they're meant to be in their lives, and I may end up having her as a roommate for the rest of my life, for all I know. She won't want to do that or accept that, but it may be a reality. So that is that affects me to some degree as well. As you can imagine, it's sort of like, wow, I could be sort of giving up my freedom, if you like, to some degree, as she is. So it's a really interesting weekend. And I've always said that you only get given what you can cope with. So I know I can cope, I just have to get it all in its different compartments. And as you can probably imagine, I'm quite looking forward to going to work tomorrow, where the stress will be normal. I had to laugh in terms of the Dufus Report. I actually started to cook a meal yesterday, and I had it on video because I know you always like me to do that when I'm cooking my Sunday meal things, and as it was something I've never done before, I was making it up on the fly, that I thought it'd be a really good idea to, you know, document it for you. So I'm going to add to it. Well, hello everybody, it's DearMamaSal, and it's Saturday, and owing to the fact I've got quite a lot going on today, I'm going to do a very quick dinner for everybody. So I started off with 3 cans of mushroom soup, and that makes it very easy. Let me just try and change the angle here for you. Okay, so 3 cans of mushroom soup and just 1 can of water. You don't want too much water in there. I've thrown in a good handful of celery, and now I'm going to throw in a couple of handfuls of 3 canned carrots. It's all about saving time today. I keep a lot of vegetables in my freezer just for moments like this. So some frozen onion. I've got some leftover leeks. I'm going to throw those in. Oh, what the heck, I've got some more onion. There we go. Some onion. And then I've also got some yams, which also adds to the colour. So we're going to let that all just do its thing, and in the meantime I've got about 5 really nice chicken breasts cooking. I've got them at very low heat, so they're sort of just defrosting and cooking at the same time, just very, very slowly. And just when they are done, how do I describe that? I sort of have it on my George Foreman grill, and I have it on for about 5 minutes, and then off for another 5, and then, or 10, and then on again and off again. So it's just quietly defrosting everything while I'm doing that. And now I'm going to tell you what I did for the rest of the meal. Because you understand, that's all I documented. For some reason I clean forgot to put the camera on for the rest of the meal. So after I added, I'm just going to try and remember now, because you understand I'm in the car trying to remember how much I actually put on tape. I seem to remember I put the celery in, and I put the carrots in, and I think I put onions in. That I seem to remember I had on tape. And after that I took 2 corns of cob. No, Dufus. 2 corn cobs. I think that's right. Anyway, and I took a sharp knife and cut all the kernels of corn off the cob, and I threw that in. I put in total, actually, I ended up putting in a total of, I think, 5 cans of mushroom soup, with not more than about 1.5 cans of water, maybe 2 at most. And I'll explain to you why I think it might have been 2, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, I cooked all that up. I added from my deep freeze, I added some leftover frozen beans that I had, green beans, and maybe something else. I can't remember. I think that was all. I know I was digging for some peppers, but I didn't ever find them. I got frozen peppers in there somewhere, but I couldn't find them to put them in. So, not a big deal. And then on the side, I had quietly defrosted and cooked on very low heat 4 big chicken breasts. And so once they were cooked, I cut those up into sort of medallion-sized pieces of meat. And I added that in. And I put in 1 chicken stock cube, big one, a Knorr one. It's about 1 inch square, I think. I put one of those in. I put in some Provençal, sorry Manon, seasonings, in other words, herbs and stuff for chicken. I put some of that in, not too much, because I think it had some garlic in it, and I was trying to keep that to the minimum. I put in some black pepper. I put in some pink salt. Did I tell you about the pink salt I found? So exciting. Pink Himalayan salt. And what surprised me was Benji told me he just bought some as well. You know, with a what do you call it? Grinder, salt grinder. So that was really good fun. So I put all that in. And then I waited until it was almost cooked. And when it was almost cooked, I did the easy, fun bit. And I've never done this before, but gosh, it worked well. I have some of those Chinese noodles that sort of looks like it's a bird nest. And they come in sort of squares, packed heavily. And the squares are about 6 inches, I guess, square of noodles. And they look a lot like a spaghetti noodle, but a little thinner. And so just when everything was just about closed, sorry, I'm reading a sign on a thing there. Just when everything was just about cooked, I threw in 4 of those squares. So I guess a square for every, that's a good way of doing it, a square for every chicken breast that I put in. And they cooked in no time at all. Literally within 5 minutes, they were cooked in that slow cooker. And that was the meal. And it tasted great. Surprisingly so. I want to tell you something. I was actually quite surprised how good. Oh, did I tell you I put in some shikati mushrooms? I got some dried ones, you know, those fancy Japanese mushrooms. And I buy them dried because I know I will never eat enough of them fresh. So I buy them dried so that I can throw them in something like this particular dish. So that added some taste to it as well. So all in all, it was very, very simple to do. Required very little prep time. And I'm just trying to think. So it was 4 cans of mushroom soup, condensed mushroom soup, some leftover fresh vegetables for the week, plus some leftover frozen vegetables from previous weeks, 4 chicken breasts, and I'm trying to think how many people it served. 3, 4, 5, I think 6 servings out of it. And the only reason I'm not quite sure how much liquid I added, that had to do with just adding a little more so that there was enough steam and everything to cook those noodles right at the end. Because round about the time I was about to add the noodles, it was looking like it was pretty thick, and it was all, you know, there wasn't much liquid left. So I did add probably a cup of liquid, stirred it all in, and then put the noodles in. And quite honestly, the heat and steam from the food, the heat and liquid from the food already cooked the noodles. And it cooked them in no time at all. It was just amazing. I went, wow, that was so easy. Got to do that again. So if you're looking for an easy thing to cook, I guess doing it in the slow cooker, I probably left the vegetables in there for an hour. Maybe 2. Because it was in the slow cooker, but I could have nuked the vegetables separately and just thrown them in, quite honestly, if I wanted it even faster. If I'd done that, I guess I could have done the total meal in about half an hour. The thing that would have taken the time is defrosting and cooking the chicken. And the way that I defrost is on my George Foreman grill on a very low heat. And literally do a little bit of heat, then leave it, a little bit of heat, leave it, literally sort of in like 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And that way it defrosts it. And it's defrosting it at a good rate when the liquids come out. You haven't got funny stuff coming out, it's just the liquid that does, the water itself comes out. So it was excellent, worked very well. But the main thing, the most important thing was it tasted great. I'm going to do it again. Definitely was well worth doing. So again, 4 chicken breasts fed 6 people. Leftover vegetables, not a great cost there. It was all vegetables that really could have ended up in the garbage. So I was quite pleased with that. And the only fresh vegetables, I guess, were the ones you saw: the carrots, the celery, the onion, some onion. I know I got some of the frozen onion out of the fridge. Onion, and then what else did I put in there that was fresh? The corn was fresh. So very simple to do. Highly recommended. The light's going. We're beginning to get dusk. It's only, gosh, isn't it amazing that the light's going and it's nearly not even 5 o'clock yet. So I'm going to call this one a wrap. And I'm putting this one in the bag because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be first thing tomorrow morning. And at least I'm going to have something up for tomorrow. Hopefully it will make you laugh. I'm glad that the Dufus Reports are amusing some of you. I get some really nice comments about them, so feel free to give me your version of your Dufus Reports. Maybe I can add them in for you, and so that we can all laugh. I think laughing is a wonderful way to go myself. DearMamaSal saying thank you so much for listening, because I know some of you just listen. Thank you so much for watching, for those that do, and we'll catch you soon. Bye bye for now.